What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah.
Hello and welcome to What is the Backstory with Carlos Hardy. That would be me. Now, before we get started, go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Or go ahead and give me a like or a follow, whatever you want to do. I mean, we have nothing but time now. So go ahead. Let's get this session started off correctly, okay? Remember, we are writing a book and I'm teaching you the different steps and the different principles to writing books. Remember, there's a lot of different things you can do to write books, or different principles or different ways or steps that you can utilize to write books. I'm just giving you what works best for me. I am an author. I have written 5 books. I am 100% ready and invested in helping you to write your book. Okay, but before we start our lesson today, I just want to tell you all about the writer's room today. Have you ever been inside a Uber or a Lyft or anything like that? One of those, transport companies that help, to get you from point A to point B. Well, I have been in it one or two, and sometimes the people that drive those things, not all, but some of the people that drive those things look very, very creepy. So in the writer's room, I've written this fun, interesting, suspenseful story of this guy who drives an Uber car. I'll be reading that to you a little bit later, so that should be pretty interesting. But let's get into the lesson, okay? Remember, I'm not going to monopolize your time. I don't want to keep you here forever. I just want to give you the meat, you throw away the bone. That's how it works. I give you the meat, you throw away the bone. It's that simple. The main reason why you may not write your book this month, this year, this week, whatever, is because of distractions. Okay, we all have, some of us have kids, some of us have significant others, some of us are married, some of us have jobs that monopolize a lot of our time, but it's on you, no one else. It's on you to complete your book. So that means push the distractions aside and get into whatever it is you're trying to do. No more excuses, because excuses are monuments of nothing that build bridges that lead to absolutely nowhere. So we need to figure out, how do we get rid of our distractions? What do we need to do to make sure that we are distracted by life, okay? So the first thing I do when I'm writing any one of my books, when I begin to write a new story, even when I'm in the writer's room and I'm writing the stories, the first thing I do, step number 1, turn off your phone. You have to 100% give all of your energy and all of your intellect, all of your ability and your imagination to this story that you want to bring out. You have to turn off your phone. If you do not turn off your phone, you're going to be constantly looking at your phone. Who's texting me? Who's emailing me? What's going on in the world? Do I need to be at some protest? What's going on? It's a lot going on. Okay, so at this point in time in our lives, we are overstimulated. Okay, so we need to, as a collective, turn off our phone. So the first thing you do is you get to a place, you turn off your phone, and you begin to write. You have to give yourself that time. Sometimes we give 8 hours or 9 hours to jobs, okay? And that's 8 or 9 hours. And that means we're giving that energy to some other entity, okay? And that other entity there is, it's beneficial financially for us, but maybe not in a more therapeutic, more spiritual way. So we give all of our attention to that. So I say at least give an hour or two to your dream. You have to, because if you don't, no one else is going to nurture your dream if you do not. We're talking about distractions here. The number 2 things you can do to get away from distractions is don't write at home, okay? Whenever I'm writing a book, I never write at my house. I may edit at my house. I may go over chapters at my house, but in order to get engulfed in a story, I do it outside of my house. Meaning I may go to a cafe. I may go to a different city. I do that all the time. I may go to a beach, a bed and breakfast. I travel up the coast. I just get away from my 4 walls here because I'm familiar with these 4 walls. So that means everything that's seeping through the walls seeping through the air, I know about, I've written. You want new energy, you want new stories, you want imagination coming to you from the ocean, from different elements, from the wind, from people walking around, from different buildings. All that stuff has life and energy, life force in it. And when you begin to write in other places, you're going to realize, oh, you're going to feel differently, and your story is going to feel differently, and your story is going to slowly begin to write itself. Trust me, that's what happens. So do not, and under any circumstance, I'm telling you, some of you may say, oh, my house is comfortable, it's cool, it's easy, it's simple. We don't want easy. We want to get in a place of not being comfortable. If you're in a bed and breakfast, or if you're up the coast somewhere, you're going to be in a different environment, and that's going to shape how you tell your story. Okay, rather than being at home. Being at home is just comfortable, and when you get home, you get distracted. You got somebody at the door with the mail. You got to check your mail. You want to see who's on social media, who's on. What can you eat? You're eating all day. I mean, come on, like get this together. It's not that hard. This is your dream. I done wrote my books. You try to write your books. So and I don't mean that in a malicious way. I'm just saying that you have to go outside yourself, outside your boundaries, and not use the excuses of, oh, I'm comfortable at home. Get away from your house. The number 3 things that you can do to sideline your distractions is set a deadline, set a goal. And I don't mean mentally set this goal. I don't mean mentally prepare for you to be finishing at a certain time. I mean write it down. There has to be something written down here that says, it's sort of like a contract here. So it's January, Carlos will have my book complete by May or by the summer or whatever the case may be. But I like shorter deadlines, because the moment you give yourself bigger deadlines, the distractions come. Okay, kids, people, husband, wife, I gotta go here, I gotta go to the gym, I got all that stuff, and that's there to distract you. That's all it's there for. It's not there for any other purpose, but it's constantly telling you, you have a dream, Marcy, you have a dream, Susan, you have a dream, Tyrone, you have a dream, Jackie, you have a dream, and you're constantly inside your head and allowing everything around you to distract you. So I'm telling you, all you need to do, it's fairly easy, is set a goal. And I mean a short-term goal. I usually write my books in 60 days, about 60 days, because I don't give myself 6 or 8 months. I map it out, because if I give myself that long period of time, then it's not going to happen, because everything else, life is going to happen all around me, and it's going to force myself to pivot into something that isn't purposeful at that time. So the best thing for me, the best thing for Carlos, like I say, we all have different ways of doing it, but the best thing to do is set a goal for yourself. It's the moment you set that goal, I'm telling you, it's going to be extraordinary, and you're going to complete your goal. But you have to work at your goal daily, weekly, and monthly. So if it's January and you want to finish your book by, let's say, March or April, you have to make sure that you set in your outline where you can finish on time, okay? Because remember, this is a promise you're making. Your goal is a contract, a promise you're making to yourself that I'm going to complete this goal. Because remember, when you're at work, you're completing all types of goals all day long, and that's not even your dream. That's not even remotely a part of your dream, you know? So you don't want to cheat yourself. So you want to give yourself something. There's nothing like finishing a book. There's nothing like finishing a project. There's nothing like starting a business. There's nothing like reaching that goal weight, you know? When you set your goals at a certain point and slowly begin to get there and elevate to that goal, you feel incredible. And that's what I want for you. That's what I really, really want you to do. So remember, there's 3 things you need to do to keep yourself from being distracted while writing this book of yours. I don't know if it's your first book, your second book, it don't even matter. I just want you to complete that goal. Turn off your phone. Who cares what's going on Facebook and Instagram? It will be there. Turn off your phone. Number 2, you're going to not write from home. Don't go somewhere outside your house, somewhere, and write, because the universe pairs with you and forces you to write when you're outside of yourself. And number 3, the third thing you need to do to keep yourself from distraction is 100% setting the goal. Set a goal. You got to set a goal when you're gonna be finished. You got to. And some of you may say, well, Carlos, I don't know when I'm going to be finished. I don't know how to write. I don't know when it's going to be. You got it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing you do when you're at work. You set these goals and you perform. You don't even know the end result. When your boss or your coworkers, whoever, your supervisors, subordinates, they will tell you, hey, Marcy, you need to do this. Hey, Jennifer, you need to get this done and have it done by this time. And I guarantee you, you make it happen, right? You make it happen. Nothing stops you. Because in your mind, okay, this is my job. I got to get this done. I want to keep my job. I don't want to be fired, so I need to get this done. Think of this. Think of your dream as your job. So if you're trying to write that book, if you're trying to write that script, if you're trying to write that book of poetry, if you're trying to write that animation series, whatever it is, think of this. Or even if you're trying to start your business, think of this as those things you need to do. Okay? Turn off your phone. Get away from your house. And have a goal. Okay, so now that I've given you that today, remember, continue to watch the videos because I'm going to be giving you lots of nuggets, okay? Because we're going to get this book written. We're going to start this business. We're going to do whatever we need to do, and I'm going to help you. And these are tools you're going to be using to do that. Trust me, it's going to help you. But I will say, let's go into our writer's room. Remember, we're talking about this crazed Uber guy who I thought about when I was in an Uber one time. And I began to write this story maybe a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to share it. I'm going to always share whatever I'm writing, whatever I'm thinking about. Keep your mind on writing. I just want your mind on finishing what you need to finish. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So let's go into the writer's room. A blue Honda Accord roams up a quiet North Carolina street before crawling to a stop. Soft specks of light from a street lamp help illuminate inside the compact vehicle. A man, early 40s, crouches down in the driver's seat. His bloodshot eyes widens, surveying the modest cul-de-sac. Pawing on his phone, he types with a manic rhythm. The man's thumbs pecks away at the flashy screen. He pulls up the teen-driven social app called Under 16. The app solidifies itself as the holy grail for teens looking for their first crush. The man's meaty fingers swipe forward, continually looking for the girl he's befriended for the past 6 nights. Frantically pressing the location button, a page of young beauties flash on the screen. An empty smile is now pasted on his face, his masculine tone settling deeper. There you are. 4 teens appear on the screen in the immediate area. He swipes away 3, leaving only the teen of his dreams. His body shifts from side to side, hoping to suppress his elation. He presses the app's call button. Impatiently, he places the phone on speaker. A young girl's gentle tone soothes his eardrum, transforming him into a shy little boy. Hello? Hoping to not overstep his confidence, the man clears the knot in his throat. Hey, beautiful. The man seductively piercing down, his lips almost kissing the screen. His gaze is unrelenting, luring over the girl's picture, admiring her soft butter skin and defined wavy red locks. Hello? Carson, I've been waiting for you. The flirtation in his words pushes the man over the edge, compelling his blood to ease like lava. He sits up and pours all his attention into the screen, not wanting to seem desperate. He halts before answering. His blue eyes glued obsessively on the young girl's cluster of red freckles at the tip of her nose. The man's beady eyeballs scanning vigorously, rereading her last message, desperately trying to find a deeper meaning in her simple words. Her profile name conjures a burning sensation inside the man that he purposely withdraws. Candy the Red Hot. He reads out loud, temptation carrying him into a mischievous place. His eyes squint, fighting away the blaring glow from the phone's flashy interface. He waits, reveling in the silence and patting his leg nervously. Looking over his shoulder, the man keeps a watchful eye over the quiet neighborhood. I missed you today, Carson, the teen says, answering. For what seems like an eternity to the man, he catches his breath. I miss you too, Cindy. An open smile reveals the man's decaying yellow teeth. Strings of gray hair flail into his face, interrupting his sick gaze at her picture. He gawks at her picture like you would a puppy dog in the window. It's pathetically riveting. Are you going to finally meet me? He says with exhaustion carrying the weight of his words. She doesn't immediately answer. The anxious man never lets up. His shaky vibrato is masked by the buzzing coming from the hanging street lamp. You said tonight would be the night. I guess I could for a bit. My parents are away. I'll have to call an Uber. It would only take a minute. We can be in a public place. How does a cafe on 3rd sound? Sure. His eyes flutter before settling shut. Would you give me a kiss, like we talked about? Carson's eyes shoot open. I'll bring you something lavender. It is your favorite color. Her response stalls, prompting the man to murmur underneath his breath. Go on. Answer. He nervously swallows, liberating the lump in his throat. You there, Cindy? The uncertainty in her words emptying into the man's earlobe, sinking his hopes. I never told you my favorite color was lavender. Her next question is infused with intrigue and colored with angst. How did you know that? It was a lucky guess, I suppose. The man pierces out the window. Tilting his head, he notices the illumination of a lavender light in a second-story window. The light abruptly dims. The man's fist slams into the steering wheel. Fuck. He sags further into his seat. Hello? Cindy, you there? The young girl's voice is sporadic now. Yes, I'm here, Carson. Where are you? She says, not really wanting to know the answer. Hello, Carson, are you there? The girl saunters over to her bedroom window, sliding open the curtain. Hello? Carson? Where are you? From the receiver, she can hear accelerated huffing, as if he was catching his breath. His panting settles into a whisper. I'm close. Glancing from the window, she sees nothing. She locks the window. Spooked, she draws the curtains close. Carson, how close are you? A tantalizing silence doused the room. His voice seems closer than she had hoped. Turn around, Cindy. Right, I know, it happens. I always tell my friends to be careful on those apps because you don't know who's on the other side of those apps or where they are. I wrote that thinking, I have this vivid imagination at times. Sometimes I could be, out walking or at the grocery store, playing tennis, whatever I'm doing, and I'll begin to have this vivid imagination about a scenario, a scene, or a person, a thing, a location, whatever, and I'll just log it. And that's one thing I didn't tell you guys. On your phones, there's a notes section. I know every phone should have it now. Whenever ideas come to you, write it down. When it's here, it's not real. It has to be here. You have to write it down. You have to put it on a tablet. You gotta put it on a computer. You gotta put it somewhere. That makes it real. So whenever you have ideas of songs and ideas of businesses or ideas of different stories in your writing, you have to write it down. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a rap, it could be a script, it could be whatever it is. You have to write it down. The universe knows that it's real when it's here. When it's not here, it's not real. The universe just thinks, oh, it's just something that Mark wants to think about. Oh, it's just something that Jeremy thinks is cool to him in his mind. Oh, it's just something that Tiffany thinks is fun. No, the moment you write it down and construct it, the universe is going to make a way for it to come into fruition. That's just how the physics, that's how science works. Everything that's built, even a house, is built based on diagrams, a blueprint. There has to be a blueprint. The moment you get your blueprint, you're good to go. You know exactly where the bathroom's going to be, the kitchen's going to be. You don't have to think about, oh, it's in my head. Yeah, I think the bathroom will be over there. I think the kitchen will be. No, it's in your head. I know I went off on a tangent, but let me get back to let me double back. Let me back up. In your phone, keep your notes. Write whatever. Just keep writing. Write it all down. Situations, locations, scenarios, people, all that kind of stuff. Write it down. And that's how I came up with that Uber story that you just saw. That was kind of, I know it's kind of creepy, but I love like suspenseful stuff. I love writing anything that's dramatic, but at the same time has a layer of suspense to it, a little horror. I think that's always healthy to be afraid. I think that's that's something that I absolutely love to do. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you continue to come back and I would love to continue sharing my stories, my wisdom that I have about writing books, about getting to the end goal. Remember, beginning, middle, and end to every process. Once you have that, you're going to be good to go. And if things, I just want positive things. I should be giving you something back. Anytime you're watching something, anytime you're viewing something, you should be getting something back. Somebody should be feeling, you should be feeling something internally when you finish watching someone's video. It should not debilitate you. It should uplift you. It should bring you to a higher vibration, a higher level of awareness. And that's what I'm hoping that you're getting out of these videos. I appreciate you. Subscribe and share and send. I would appreciate that. Until next time, I have some more great stories. Oh my God, I can't tell. I got some great stories, some great shows I'm going to be doing, sharing with you guys really, really soon. So please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And remember, don't be a dream killer, okay? Please do not be a dream killer, because if you don't know one, that means you are one. So please keep yourself safe. Keep yourself thinking purely at a higher vibration, higher level, where love lives, purity lives, where peace lives. They stay up there. You gotta stay up there regardless of what's going on down here. You gotta stay up there. Until next time, I'm Carlos Hardy on What Is the Backstory. Deuces.
What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe.